AITA for leaving her with barely anything? I, 34M, and X, 33F, broke up around a month ago. We'd been together for 9 years. She hasn't worked for the last 7 of those 9 years. The reason is because she didn't have to. Call me a mug if you want, but I'm very financially stable, and I loved her. I was happy to give her everything she needed and wanted, and she'd expressed that she didn't want to work anymore, so that's what we did, and I was happy to do so. Genuinely thought I'd found the one, so didn't think it would ever be an issue. She broke things off with me. It was very out of the blue and devastating to me. I'll be honest, calm as the breakup was, she didn't seem particularly bothered when she told me she didn't love me anymore. That was the reason she wanted to split. She'd fallen out of love with me. I was obviously upset, and honestly shocked. I asked if I'd done anything wrong. She said no, that she'd just fallen out of love with me. And it just hit me like, okay, this is happening, there's nothing I can do about it, but I'm also not going to grovel and beg her to stay. She's clearly made up her mind with how nonchalant she was about it all. I didn't want an argument, I didn't want a huge scene, so I told her calmly but visibly upset to go and pack some clothes and stuff and to go to her sister's house or something, because I couldn't have her there. In that moment I also asked for her key to the house, and she got a little irritated by that, but did give it to me, then left. The following evening, we did talk on the phone. She called me, I answered, we talked, though there was nothing really to talk about. I did say to her, so you really have made up your mind? She said yes, and that this is what she wanted. I can't stress this enough that I really was devastated, and her blasé and nonchalantness to the situation did irritate me because I think in this raw and fresh time, I was confused by it. How she ended 9 years just like that. But clearly, like I said, she'd obviously been thinking about it and was over her side of things emotionally. The following couple of days, I slowly came to terms with it all, and started making plans to organize things. I took her off the car insurance for the car I bought her, and went to get it. She didn't like that. I canceled her phone contract. She didn't like that either. I'd stopped her access to my bank account, all that kind of stuff. Naturally, she didn't like any of it, but we're not together anymore, and I was paying for all that. You no longer should have access to any of it. It's not a difficult concept. Things got nasty one night when she asked to come over and pick up some more things. I said yeah because she did still have a few bits here. She came over, I silently let her in and went back to the living room while she went around gathering some stuff in a suitcase she'd bought with her. She came into the living room and picked up a laptop. I said you can put that down, that doesn't belong to you. And an argument then broke out. I ended up looking in her suitcase and there was other things that didn't belong to her, so I took them out while she stood there yelling at me for being petty. I mean, maybe so. I'd let her keep her phone at least after I canceled the contract. And told her she can keep her engagement ring and do whatever she wants with it. I snapped at her while she was yelling at me and I said you have nothing. You have the clothes on your back in this house, your makeup, your hair dryer, your hair straighteners, you can take all that, everything else in this fucking house isn't yours to just take. She started crying, and I asked her to leave. She sent me a huge text message basically, in a nutshell, saying I was being unfair. I don't think I have been? I've been real about it all. If we had kids it absolutely would have been a different situation. But this was 2 people, splitting up, one of which, myself, was paying, happily, for everything she had. We are not together anymore. How is it unfair of me to take all that away? You are no longer my partner, it is no longer yours. You no longer have the benefit of having me to care for you financially. How is this not understood and being unfair? She now has pretty much nothing, sleeping on her sister's couch, needing to find a job again. It is what it is. And it's not my problem. Edit. Purely so I don't have to keep repeating myself in the comments. The car situation. 2 cars, both owned by me. I put her on the insurance for one of those cars so she could drive it legally. While we were together, I had no problem her using it as her own car. But it did not belong to her. 2, where I come from, you have to split everything. You have to pay alimony. Where I come from, you don't. Not married. No kids. 3, but didn't she cook and clean? Etc. She did, yes. We both did. 4, the laptop. The laptop was not a gift and nowhere did I say it was a gift. It was something I bought that I used. She used my laptop too, regularly. But it wasn't hers. 5, did you let her keep things that were hers or gifts you gave her? Yes. I let her take/keep things that she, and she alone used. Example, her makeup, certain electronics like hair stuff, her phone, gifts I had bought her for birthdays, Christmases, anniversaries, her engagement ring, keepsakes and other random gifts, etc. She left half of them at the house. Not taking/wanting them.